Welcome to Quizzical Grace. Today's challenge is a 20 multiple-choice Bible quiz covering the Old and New Testament to really test your knowledge and strengthen your faith. For each question, you'll see 4 answer choices, and you'll have just 5 seconds to pick the right one before the answer is revealed. Keep track of your score and be sure to share it in the comments. Let's get started. In Genesis, who was the first person described as a mighty hunter before the Lord? D. Nimrod. Nimrod is remembered as a mighty hunter and kingdom builder. His story shows how human ambition could either serve God or oppose him. In Exodus, what did God provide Israel in the wilderness besides manna? B. Quail. When Israel grumbled for meat, God sent quail to cover the camp. This shows both his provision and his patience. In Leviticus, what was the penalty for the high priest if he entered the most holy place without blood? A. Death. God's holiness meant the high priest could not approach casually. Access required sacrifice. In Numbers, whose staff budded as a sign of God's chosen leadership? B. Aaron. Aaron's staff blossomed overnight, proving God had chosen him as priest. It silenced rebellion and confirmed God's choice. In Deuteronomy, where were the Israelites commanded to write God's words? A. On doorframes and gates. The Shema told Israel to keep God's word always before them, even on their homes. In Joshua, who hid the spies sent into Jericho? C. Rahab. Rahab hid the spies and tied a scarlet cord in her window. Her faith saved her household and placed her in Jesus' lineage. In Judges, what object did Gideon place before the Lord as a sign? B. A fleece. Gideon asked for confirmation using a fleece. God graciously answered, though true faith trusts without signs. In 1 Samuel, what weapon did Goliath carry besides a spear? C. A javelin. Goliath carried multiple weapons, including a javelin slung on his back. The detail heightens the fearsome odds David faced. In 2 Samuel, which of David's sons led a rebellion against him and declared himself king? D. Absalom. Absalom's charm and ambition led him to rebel against David, but his pride ended in tragedy. This warns how division can destroy families and kingdoms. In 1 Kings, which prophet confronted King Ahab with the words, "Is it you, you troubler of Israel?" A. Elijah. Ahab blamed Elijah for the drought, but Elijah pointed to Israel's idolatry. True prophets speak boldly even to kings. In 2 Kings, which commander was healed of leprosy after washing in the Jordan? C. Naaman. Naaman, a Syrian, humbled himself to wash 7 times. His healing revealed God's mercy even beyond Israel. In Nehemiah, what position did Nehemiah hold before returning to Jerusalem? B. Cupbearer. Nehemiah served the Persian king as cupbearer. His faith moved him from palace comfort to rebuilding Jerusalem's walls. In Job, who said, "The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." A. Job. In deep loss, Job still worshipped God. His response models trust in God's sovereignty in suffering. In Psalms, which psalm begins, "The Lord is my shepherd"? B. Psalm 23. David described God as shepherd, guiding, protecting, restoring. It remains one of Scripture's most comforting psalms. In Proverbs, what is said to be the fear of the Lord? C. The beginning of knowledge. True knowledge starts with reverence for God, not intellect. In Isaiah, what sign did God give King Ahaz of the coming Messiah? B. A virgin will conceive. Isaiah foretold a virgin conceiving a child that would be called Emmanuel, meaning God with us. In Daniel, what happened to the men who falsely accused Daniel? B. Thrown into the lion's den. After God saved Daniel, his accusers were cast into the den. God's justice prevailed. In Matthew, what profession was Matthew before following Jesus? C. A tax collector. Matthew was despised as a tax collector. Jesus called him anyway, proving no one is beyond his grace. In Luke, who sat at Jesus' feet listening while her sister was busy serving? D. Mary. Mary of Bethany chose to sit at Jesus' feet. Jesus said she chose the better part, valuing his presence above busyness. In Acts, what couple sold land but lied about the proceeds? A. Ananias and Sapphira. They pretended generosity while lying to the Spirit. Their sudden deaths warn against hypocrisy in the church. Great job finishing today's quiz. How did you do? Drop a comment below and let me know your score or which question stumped you the most. Maybe even suggest a topic for a future quiz. If you enjoyed this challenge, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Quizzical Grace so you won't miss the next round of Bible quizzes. God bless.